Welcome back to the Aussie Prepper channel and welcome back to another video. Now recently I did a video about how much cash to carry on you in person day to day. Today we're doing a video about how much cash you should keep at home, or how much cash you should keep readily accessible. If you want to learn more about how much cash to carry on your person at all times, watch that other video. I'll link it down below for you. But today we're talking about how much cash you should be storing at home. Now, I'll tell you from the start, the figure's going to be different for everyone, and it's going to depend on how much cash you've got and what your lifestyle is like and where you live. But I will be giving you a good guide on how much cash you should be storing at home. Now, let's have a look at some negative points of storing cash at home. It's not all positive, there's also negative. So let's have a look at the negatives. Cash kept at home does not earn any interest, and it's basically dead money. And with inflation, that cash actually decreases in value over time. So you don't want to be keeping excessive amounts of cash, because any cash you keep at home is dead money. Now, cash does have a high risk of theft, and there's also a high risk of it being misplaced or forgotten about, especially if the person that's hidden the cash dies and they have not disclosed the location of where the cash is hidden. If things get really bad, it could become completely worthless, so any stash of cash you have might become pointless at some stage. So if you're anticipating things getting really bad, maybe you should be having some trade goods on hand. Stuff you can trade for other stuff. But that's another whole video that we'll be doing in the future. So those are the main negative points. There's probably others, but I think these 3 points are the main negatives of keeping large amounts of cash around. Now, if you want to figure out how much cash to keep, you should have enough to sustain your current lifestyle for about 3 to 6 months, which might be a lot of money for some people, but you need to start that emergency fund. So if you haven't got enough cash to sustain yourself for 3 to 6 months, you need to start putting some aside. Maybe start a side hustle, watch some of my other videos on that, to just get that little bit of money put aside just in case. Now, also keep various denominations of cash. Don't just keep $100 notes or $50 notes. Have 5s. Have 10s, have 20s, have 50s, have 100s, and have a nice stash of each. That way, when you need to buy something, you can use the correct money to buy that item. So if someone's going to sell you something for $85, it's a good idea to be able to give them $85 instead of $100 expecting change, because there might not be any change. And if you're going to buy a $5 item with a $100 note, it might expose you as having a lot of money to those people that you're buying the stuff off, or to others that might be witnessing the transaction. And they might not have the $95 change to give you. So you want to have a $5 note that you can just hand to someone and say, well, here's $5, here's $10, here's $20 for whatever you're buying. Do not be paying for things expecting change. I mean, if you turn up with a $100 note to buy a $10 thing, you're exposing yourself to being rich and having a lot of money, and you're potentially putting a target on your head, because people will be thinking, well, where that $100 came from, there's more. So it's a really good idea not to let people know that you've got large amounts of cash, because it'll just make you a target. Another thing is, do not keep all the cash in the one location. Do not stash $5,000 in one spot. If you've got $5,000, break it up into 5 stashes that you put into different places. So if one of your stashes gets discovered, you're not losing the whole lot. You're just losing 1/5 of whatever you're dealing with. Also consider diversifying with gold and silver if you want to store value at home rather than putting in the bank. And the good thing about gold and silver is that it generally increases in value over time. So you're not getting hit up with the inflation too hard. However, keep in mind, when's the last time you've paid for something with a gold bar? The world has to be in a pretty bad place for you to be able to pay for something with gold. And the other thing is, if you've got a piece of gold that's worth $1,000, how are you going to get change for that? if you want to buy a bag of rice or 20 litres of petrol. But if it gets to the point where money becomes worthless, maybe you need to also diversify into some trade goods: alcohol, coffee, cigarettes, fuel, medical supplies, etc. But that's a whole nother video that we'll be doing in the future. Now, I've already touched on this. Gold and silver have the added bonus of being protective of inflation. It is less likely to devalue over time, and as a matter of fact, it's likely to increase its value over time. So even if the world doesn't end and you've got a heap of gold stored away, in 10 years' time, that gold will be more valuable than what it is today. Nothing's guaranteed, but chances are it will be. If there's anything you'd like to add to this video that will assist people that might be watching this video, leave your comment down below so we can have a discussion about those things down in the comments section. And in the meantime, if you enjoyed today's video, do me a favour and give me a big thumbs up. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button for more videos from Aussie Prepper. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.